What is going on, boys? Welcome back. If things look a little different and sound a little different, we're using a brand new recording device we just got gifted from my uncle. Shout out to you, Uncle Rod. You are awesome. He hooked us up with a brand new GoPro Hero 10 Black Edition and a whole kit of all these awesome mounts and a bunch of really cool pieces that we can use to get really cool shots on the channel. So stay tuned for some interesting stuff coming up. More flybys, more driving footage, all that fun. And we're gonna go out and beat on this car a little bit over the coming weeks. So there's one thing that we got to tie up before we can do all that. Basically just check something. So over the last week it hit 92 or something degrees and it was really hot up here, and my AC is recharged and it's full and it works great. But when I turn the AC on and I'm driving around town, I notice my temps, which are normally around 200 to 206 now, with the AC on, they jump up to like 210, 213, and the highest I saw was 216. And right then I turned the AC off and I just kind of let it blow some heat inside of the car to bring it back down to normal 206. That's hot, and I think it's in part because we have this big front mount intercooler down here, and there's no real way to get airflow up to the radiator. I've sealed off the radiator to the condenser. We cut these nostrils in, and I opened these up a little bit more last night, but I feel like the culprit is this silver pipe that goes right across, comes out of the top of the intercooler tank and goes back over. This is the upper charge pipe that goes into the throttle body up there. I feel like that is in the way of the only little bit of airflow that we're gonna get. You can see it runs clear across this whole opening. I can stick my fingers in there, and that's about all the space I got. So these were to combat that extra heat and hopefully promote some airflow, but I don't think it's doing the job. I think that we need to attack this from a different direction, and I think that's gonna be either pressure testing the coolant system first. That's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna try today real fast before we leave. And if that shows up no leaks, which I don't think there are any leaks, guys, I think it might be time to get a new intercooler and get rid of this old cheapo one that wasn't really that cheap, but it's an older one now. It's about 1.5 years old, and it's seen its fair share of bugs and dings and dents, and I drove it through the winter. The snow kind of smacked some of the fins bent, and I don't know, I just want something where we don't have that pipe going across the top anymore, because that pipe going across the top right through the little nostril holes there is blocking basically all the spots that we have for airflow. The inside of this bumper is cut out right here. If you look, you can see it's all open, but the airflow is blocked by that. So I really do think that's my problem. But until we can get ourselves another intercooler, I was looking at a couple of different options, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like a vertical flowing intercooler where it has the in and the out are on the same side, and it has a long tank on the top, and these fins don't run side to side, they run top to bottom? It's called a vertically flowing intercooler. I hear they're more efficient. I've never ran one, but I think I'm going to get a same side in and out intercooler, so my charge pipe will go from here up to the throttle body and from the bottom side into the turbo, and alleviate some of the extra piping, especially that piece going across the top here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think that might be one of the better options, but I think that's gonna do it for my ideas right now. Let's just go ahead and jump into pressure testing this cooling system real fast. I'm gonna stick you guys off to the side in a more convenient way, and we're gonna hook up this Harbor Freight kit. Let me go grab that. This is our Harbor Freight radiator pressure testing kit. It's got a whole ton of different pieces and stuff, and they plug into your radiator so you can pressurize the system and basically find if you have any drips underneath it. So I can't remember exactly which one fits it. I want to say it's this one right here, or yeah, I think it's this one right here. I think this is the one. Let's try it out. So you pop your radiator cap off, take this little guy, and it should twist on. Find the little locks. These are kind of tough. They're a universal kit, so you got to find the one that fits on. Aha, that is the one. So it should sit on there just like that. Doesn't wiggle, doesn't move. Then you come back down to your kit, and right down here we have our pump. This is locked in. This fits a whole plethora of different vehicles. Works really well. So what we're gonna do now is attach our quick release end, which is this side here, to the top of this little guy, and it just slips on. Pull these little knurled parts back, and it locks into position. There, now she's on there. Now you take your happy little hand pump here, and we're going to pump this thing until we get our cooling system up to about, I don't know, 15 psi. If you look at the gauge, you can see where it's blue. The sun's kind of reflecting, but the blue line goes from 0 up to 15 psi. When you get between 15 and 20, it starts to turn red. Most radiator caps for these cars, I believe, are pressure rated to 13 psi. Let's take a look at this one. 0.9 bar. I believe that 0.9 bar is 13 psi because 14.7 is 1 bar. So I think I'm right. Anyways, now that this is on here, we're going to pump this thing a few times and get this up to about 15 psi. And then we're going to look at all the cooling system components and see if there's a leak in a hose or something seeping, or maybe a coolant line going to the throttle body. I don't know, something might be leaking, and that might be causing our cooling system to get up to 213 or 216 and just continuously look like it's going to keep on climbing. I have my ECM link set up to turn the check engine light on at 219, so I wasn't going to wait till the check engine light kicked on. I just figured I'd turn off the AC, and let me tell you, that sucked. It was 91 degrees out, so I'm sure you guys can imagine. Hot, hot, hot. But let's check this out. Let's pump this thing up real fast. All right, we got this thing set to 15 psi. The needle, sorry for the reflection. It's kind of hard to fight the reflection. Maybe more like 16 psi. Anyways, it's gonna sit there. We're gonna wait 10 minutes and see if we lose any of that pressure. And during that time, hopefully, if we have a leak, we're gonna be able to find it and see it. I really don't know if there's a leak or not. Last I checked, this cooling system was pretty well tight, but I don't know. You never know. And this little tool from Harbor Freight, I can't remember the price of it, but I'll link it in the description. This kit is great. I used it on the wife's Focus here. I've used it on a bunch of customer vehicles and buddies' cars, so it's definitely something nice to have floating around if you think that you might be overheating because of a coolant leak. So pick one up if you want to. I think that's the best deal you're going to find on most of them, unless you go on Amazon. But I've had some bad or rough luck with some Amazon tools. They seem to be a lot cheaper, and then you got to ship it out, wait for a refund, or wait for a replacement, or even fight trying to contact somebody who sold you the stuff in the first place, because Amazon's just facilitating the sale. So I don't know. Anyways, let's wait 10 minutes and we'll see what happens here. I wanted to throw in the mix. I didn't even think about this until just now, but my overflow tank used to be right here, and obviously we've moved it back there. It now sits right down here, kind of far away in the back. But I'm looking at the height of that, and your overflow tank is supposed to be the highest point in your cooling system. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be higher than the radiator. And if you look straight across, you can see that chrome right there underneath the blow-off valve. It looks like we're about level with our radiator. That also might be an issue, but pretty sure there's juice inside of it. Yep, there's liquid inside of it, so I guess we're gonna find out here soon if there's a leak. And I mean, if you get a PSI or 2 drop and you don't find any liquid anywhere, you're probably safe. But in my experience, you get about 5 to 10 PSI of a drop and it ends up creeping down towards 0, and you'll find a big, big puddle underneath your car. So we still got 8 more minutes. Let's wait. About 10 minutes. And if you look, spin this around, we are literally just a hair between 15 and 16 psi. We haven't lost anything. I can't find any drips or leaks. The only coolant is around the elbow right here that I dropped from taking the cap off wet. What I did inspect underneath the car, this could have been a bad one, this gigantic worm clamp screw that had fallen out when I took the thermostat housing off this thing the last time I took it off. We're just gonna throw this in the bin. We already replaced it. I'm gonna put a splash more coolant in that reservoir, and this little tool right here, when you want to take it off, there's pressure on the line here. There's a little button right here on the back side. You just push that down, lets the air out, and then you grab the knurls and you lift them like a quick release for like an air tool or something. So we're gonna put this kit back away where it came from, because I don't think that a leak is our problem. I really don't. I think that we're having an airflow issue, and I think that the airflow being blocked by that radiator, or not radiator, that intercooler pipe, the charge pipe going across the top of it, is basically limiting airflow on the highway so badly that things start to get warm and they just can't recover. I mean, we have a big 12 and a 14-inch spall fan on here. and they have been doing great all season since we threw this stuff back on and fixed our wiring harness mess down here. So chances are, like I said, it's an airflow issue. So if you guys have any good suggestions on a good intercooler, I was looking all over the place. The space for this opening is about 26 inches across, and it's about 10 inches high. I want to put something in this intercooler is, I think, 26 by 9. So there's a little bit of space. I was looking for something that could hold 24 psi and not get really, really hot. But I want to get one that has vertical rows. I'll throw a link in the description and it'll show you guys the one I've been looking at and a couple other prospects. But I'm going to do one that has the same side in and out, and it just goes across. So we're gonna see what we can figure out here. It'll hopefully open up that air space above where that pipe is, so the air will come in through and go up behind the bumper and in through the radiator stack. The other thing is, if you get real close to my AC condenser, I can see a bunch of little pebbles and stuff in there from the years of travel and years of abuse this thing's had. Let me see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Stick you in this little opening here. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we'll try. All right, you can kind of see the flashlight going through it. Can't get you close enough to show you, but there's a bunch of tiny little pebbles and stuff that are inside of it. You might be able to see some of them if you zoom in. I don't know if you're on your phone watching, that is. But I pressure washed this thing out and blasted it out. There's not very much in there. There's little tiny pebbles, a couple of them. I'd probably say per inch, you probably have like maybe 3 or 4 pebbles per square inch, which, you know, it's a lot, and I'm sure it hinders the cooling efforts that this AC condenser has, but I don't feel like it should allow the temps to climb the way they do. Regardless, we're gonna put the cap back on this thing, put this kit back in the basement, fire this thing up and go for a drive, and it's around 75-80 degrees today, so we should be fine. We don't need AC. All right, boys, we're in the car. Cooling system looks fine. Got the new laptop all plugged in. Big shout out to all you guys who've been watching, subscribing, and picking up the new t-shirt designs, which we have a bunch of new ones that just dropped over the last couple weeks. So go to todaysprojectguide.com and take a look at them if you guys are interested in any of them. It really helps out the channel. If you want to further support us, that's a great way to do it. I appreciate all you guys watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all that fun. But we have to mess around with a little bit of the tune here. Let's start this thing up for the first time. She is alive. All right, so now that I have all these cool little mounts and all that, I think I'm gonna stick you guys someplace and it'll be nice. You'll be able to see what's going on in here while we drive. I don't know where I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna put you. Give me just a second, guys. Boys, we got our data log going and we're gonna head over for a quick drive. I gotta pick up some stuff from Walmart real quick, but I like where I stuck you. Let me know, guys, what you think, where I should start sticking this GoPro, and what kind of shots you guys would like to see, because I've got some ideas, but I'm always open to suggestion. Anyways, hopefully the wind doesn't kill you too. This is all an experiment, guys, so bear with me. errands run. Got some cool shots to share with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that stuff. I know it's a little different, and thanks to our new camera and recording equipment, we're gonna have a lot more fun. I'm planning our nice drive up by Lake George, New York. I want to show you guys some cool stuff up there and just take you for a nice cruise through the hills. It's beautiful up there. We'll do that soon. In the meantime, we got to go rip around. We got some good data here. I just messed around with my data logging for a little bit. I wanted to get some information. I have to work on my tune a little bit more. Right here I was messing around with the rolling anti-lag button, and timing drops right down to nothing and goes, what does it go to, minus 14 degrees. And then the air fuels are off a little bit. We're still lean while we're building boost. And then let's see, it's still off quite a bit in a few places. I have to go back through the speed density table. What I like to do when I see stuff like this is, first, before I go through all the cells, I'll go through and highlight the area and right click on it and do the SDVE adjust combined fuel trim feature, and the wizard will tell me where to add some fuel or take stuff away in this table. And that's where I'll start, and I'll spend about half an hour or so going through each one of these little spots and do back-to-back pulls until everything lines up nice. You want 11.1 and 11.1 in your wideband and air fuel ratio estimates. But anyways, I've covered that in previous videos. If you guys need to know a little bit more information on how I dial in my SD table or how to set up some of the basic stuff on Link, feel free to go back through the old videos. There's tons of stuff in there. Anyways, guys, it's been fun. I'm gonna head inside. It's pitch black out again, and we'll see you again very, very soon with a bunch of interesting new stuff to show you and new angles to show it to you with. So thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you check out todaysprojectguide.com if you want to further support the channel, and stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram at Today's Project Guide, and submit pictures of your DSM or 4G63 powered car to todaysprojectguide@gmail.com, and we will put you in the end of the videos like we've been doing. I ran through a bunch of photos and some of them came in. Do me a favor and verify, if you're going to send photos, that they open up completely, because I've gotten a lot of submissions where a lot of the photos were super zoomed in and we couldn't really use those because it didn't really show the whole picture. I tried to sneak a couple of them in, but make sure it's a good photo. You know, take a good photo of your car. Show me the engine bay, show us the interior, show us, you know, outside the car, something cool. It doesn't have to be professional, just something to share. But anyways, you guys have a great one. We'll see you again very, very soon. Take care.